You're up, Paul. It's time for our regular catch-up. Rolex announced a price increase this week. What do you make of that?
I think it was strategic. I think that probably a lot of reasons. The first reason is obviously the pound's not been doing so well, so they want to level things out and make sure that stuff isn't like super cheap in the UK compared to say Europe, because that means that all the European buyers will want to come to the UK, and it confuses the market a little bit, I think. So the pound being on the low side is probably one of the main reasons, but also they're very, very clever. You know, they've seen the issues that we've been having, like with the price rises and the prices dropping. And I think, in my opinion, they've moved in very cleverly to hold up their end of the market. And they've done that for years, and they'll continue to do it. Whenever they feel the market needs it, they'll give it a leg up, and that's what they've done. It wasn't a worldwide increase, but I think demand in the UK has probably been higher than anywhere else in the world over the last 12, 18 months, 2 years. So I would imagine that a price hike in America and the rest of the world will follow fairly quickly before the new year, I would imagine.
So I'm looking to buy my first Rolex before long. Should I wait and see what happens with the prices, or get in as quickly as I can?
Well, it really depends on what you're looking for. I mean, if it's a 5-digit reference number, then now's as good a time as any, because I don't really think those watches have been affected much. They're not going to go down, and they're only going to go up. If you're looking to buy something that's new, and I don't think you're looking for a new one, are you? You're looking for something more pre-owned. But if it was new, look, the best way, as always, for the last few years at least, has been from your authorised dealer. You've got no spend history with any AD, so the chances of you getting anything from those people are virtually zero.
Can't buy from an AD in Brighton now, that's for sure.
Pardon me?
I can't buy from an AD in Brighton.
No, that's not going to happen, I wouldn't imagine, anytime soon. But no, I would say that, look, I think prices have levelled, I think they've steadied. So depending on which model you was going to go for, and it would differ, and if you was looking for maybe a gold Daytona, I'd probably still hang fire for a little bit. But if it's a steel watch or a Datejust, then I think, yeah, now's probably as good a time as any. I don't see those prices going down anymore, but if it turns out to be wrong, you know, I'll say so. But the market at the moment tells me that things have not only levelled out, but there's a slight increase.
What other watches should I look out for if I couldn't afford a Rolex?
Instead of a Rolex?
Yeah.
Well, if it's a Rolex that you got your heart set on, I wouldn't particularly look at anything else, because you can talk yourself into loving something else when really you don't, and that's always a danger, and you end up with buyer's remorse. So if it's a Rolex that you want and you got your heart set on that, wait, save, and get what you want. There are a lot of other watches I could recommend that will be not just as good, but could very easily maybe scratch an itch. Tudor, for an example, you know, everyone knows I'm a big fan of the Tudor brand. I particularly love the P01, the P01, but not everyone's cup of tea. Black Bay, Pelagos, so Tudor will be a good shout. Cartier, for me personally, not so much, but there's nothing wrong with them. You could also have a look at Breitling, and certainly Omega. I mean, Omega Speedmaster, I think, would be a great alternative or an option if you can't get into the Rolex market. I would say, but my real top two advices, I guess, would probably be an Omega Seamaster or Speedmaster, or a Tudor Black Bay, something like that. But never buy one of those watches to scratch an itch, knowing that it's still going to itch, because that's going to cost you more money in the long term.
Okay, good to know. What did you make of the interview we had with the flying squad?
I thought it went very well. Yeah, I thought it went very well. I mean, you was there, obviously, behind the camera. I thought they were really honest, really good, very upfront with us. I think over the years I've built a good relationship with those guys. I felt sorry for them in some ways, because, look, you know, I often give the police a lot of stick and criticise them. It's not so much the individuals that I'm giving stick, it's more the system. You know, it's more the politicians. I mean, they do lack resources. That can lead to a lack of energy, and I don't blame them for that. But those guys in the flying squad really are dedicated, and I know those guys well. They really are our friend, and I wish them all the best, and you know, more power to them.
Yeah, I did see some of the shocking videos they were showing you, and I never knew things were that bad, and now I understand why you've been campaigning to get Rolex to bring back the lost and stolen register, and also why you're so passionate about watch crime.
Well, I've been very passionate, and I remain very passionate about Rolex bringing back the lost and stolen register. I'll say it, I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'll say it out loud, I'm not afraid to say it. I think they're partly to blame for what's going on, and I think they should hang their head in shame, and I think they're able, through their lost and stolen register, to prevent a lot of what takes place. Because look, I was talking to someone the other night that didn't really understand it. I also did an interview with Hodinky this week about the same sort of topic. This is the situation, right? If you suddenly took all the logbooks away from all the cars and you couldn't trace a stolen car, do you think that car theft will go up, or do you think it will go down? It's pretty obvious. You know, if you can't trace a stolen car, if there was no DVLA or centralised system that was able to trace stolen vehicles, do we think car theft will go up or down? Now, we all know the answer to that. It's going to go up, and it's going to go up a lot. And that's the situation that we've been in with Rolex now for many years. They know it, I know it, and I'll continue to campaign, and I'll call them out at every given opportunity, because the people that are in charge of holding back that lost and stolen register to grey market dealers and to the general public, if you're watching this video, when you put your head on the pillow tonight, or before you put your head on the pillow tonight, go and watch some of my videos and see some of the crimes that you could help prevent. Look at some of the trauma that's caused to families. Some people have even lost their lives, and you go to bed and put your head on the pillow at night knowing full well that by reinstating the lost and stolen register, you could help stop that. I don't know how they live with that, Aaron, because I couldn't. And I might get a bit uptight about it, because I am uptight about it. I bet these people, I nearly called them something else, and I bet these people have never spoke to a victim in their life. Never, let alone been a victim. Well, I've been a victim 3 times, and I've spoke to hundreds of victims, and I know the effect that it has on them, their lives, their families, their children. It's truly, truly remarkable that there are people out there that can help resolve this issue, and they refuse. And the only reason that I can think of, the only conclusion that I can come to, and the reason why they refuse to share that, is money. And I detest that.
I can see that meant a lot to you then, that you got quite passionate about that.
It does mean a lot to me, Aaron, because like I'm a human being, right? And it matters a lot to me how people feel and the effects that stuff like this can have on people's lives. I've seen it in their eyes. I've spoken to their wives and their children. I've been there myself. And these people just don't understand. Come and spend a day with me. Come and spend a day with me. Come and speak to some victims and see if you still feel the same way, and you understand why I get uptight about it.
When did they take the lost and stolen register away?
Do you know what, Aaron? I remember writing a report for the industry, for the watch industry, back in about 2013. Mate, years fly by. I think it was around about 2010, 2011. Something like that. It was a long time ago now. It's 10 years, almost 10 years or so now. And this is why. 10 years, every year, watch crime has gone up and up and up and up and up, and it'll keep going up until something's done about it.
One thing that did surprise me was how much the police seem to respect you and your channel. That got me by surprise.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think I've built up a good relationship with them. We've known each other for a number of years. They know that I'm on their side, despite what a lot of people might think. They know that I stay on the right side of the law, and they do their due diligence. Look, the first time I ever met them, they said to me, you know, don't worry, Paul, we do our background checks before we speak to anyone. So they've obviously checked me out, and I passed that test with them a long time ago. But I think, I'd like to think that they have respect for me because I tell it as it is. You know, I don't give any BS, I don't hold back, and if I can help them, I will do that. And if it's for the good of the community, then I'm happy to step up and do whatever it takes to help them. And I think they understand that. And I think we get each other as well. You know, I understand their issues and the problems that they face. And I think they've been sympathetic to me as well, which means a lot.
To say, I love the Penthouse videos. Spencer cracks me up. He's a funny guy, isn't he?
Oh, mate.
Is he like that all the time, or just on camera?
He is. You know what? What you see with Spencer on camera is pretty much what you get, like, all the time. He's wholly disorganised, always in a rush, never quite knows where he is. He's behind you 1 minute, you turn your back and he's gone. But he's just a busy man. I don't think I've ever known anyone that's busier than Spencer. But you know, look, listen, he's a top bloke, and he's always great company to be around. You know, he's a good lad.
Yeah, you both seem to have a very close relationship. It seems like you have a lot in
common. We do. I think we understand each other. I mean, look, a lot of relationships can become strained, or some relationships can become strained when, you know, someone's got something to gain from the other. But look, you know, Spencer's got nothing that I need, and I've got nothing that Spencer needs. So we just get on because we're very old school. We're both old school. We both like to do things right. And yeah, like I said, he's a good lad to be around. And it's been fun bringing him out in front of the camera, because the first time I got him in front of the camera, he was a bit like a robot. Now he's just a complete live wire, and he's a liability, because I never know what he's going to come out with next.
So the last question for today. I love it when you talk about life and philosophy. Can you give us any tips to how to make our personal life a little bit better?
Oh, blimey. Tips to make your personal life better. Is that for you as my son-in-law? Look after my daughter. That's a good tip.
I've heard that one plenty of times.
I would say the biggest tip I could give anyone is be polite to people, right? Do you know something? I get smiles from people all day long. Wherever I go, I get smiles from people, and that's for one reason, is because I smile at them. When I go into a petrol station and pay for my petrol, I always say to the person, thank you very much, have a lovely day. You know, just, you reap what you sow, don't you? I think, you know, look, if you walk around in a bad mood all day, being rude to everyone and being difficult to everyone, your life's going to be complicated, right? Because they're going to want to make your life complicated. But if you're nice to people, if you're polite, if you're decent, you know, hold the door open for someone and just smile at them. It don't cost you nothing, Aaron, right? It don't. And karma has a way, I think karma has a way of, you know, going around in a circle. So I've always been that way, you know, I've always been polite, helpful, and I just find it repays you. You know, even if you don't want to do it, even if you don't like that, even if it's not quite your thing, you're actually just invested in yourself. You know, you're invested in yourself. I was in Selfridges the other day. And I walked past the perfumery. And one of the young ladies there gave me a lovely beaming smile and said, like, you look really happy. And I said, so do you. And we had a laugh and a smile. You know, it was just like friendliness. She felt a friendliness from me, I felt a friendliness from her. And I try and, whether it's male or female, that's the way I try and go in my life, to be friendly to people, have a smile on my face. Because if it's the other way, what does anyone gain from that? What does anyone gain from it? Nothing. I mean, a lot of blokes feel they gain respect through fear. And look, let's be honest, to some degree, that's right. But that's not really respect, that is fear. and people hate being fearful. So when men go out to earn respect through fear, they're not actually earning respect, they're actually earning hatred without realising it, yeah?
You
Does
get
that
more of
make
that
sense?
these days, I think.
Huh?
So do you get more of that these days?
Well, this is what I'm saying. I mean, there are blokes I know that, do I respect them? No. Am I fearful of them? Bit wary. I know what they can be like. I know what their temper can be like. I know how dangerous they can be. But that's not respect or like. That's fear. That's like wariness. And do you really want people to be wary of you as a human being? Some people get off on that stuff. But it won't take them very far in their life. That I can guarantee. You know, because if ever there's a favour needed, or if ever you're, you know, on a street corner one night, your car's broken down, that person that you know that drives past you, they ain't going to stop to help you. They're just going to put their head down and drive on. It's not going to get you anywhere. And that's just one like stupid example. But so that would be one tip. I'll save some more for another time, but that'll be one of the other tips. Treat my business strapline, my ethos when I had my business was treat other people like you want to be treated yourself. And that's the same in business, the same in real life. That's the way that I look at things. And especially be good to my daughters.
I promise you that, always.
Is that it?
That is it.